Chief Seattle was born in 1780 near Blake Island, Washington. His mother, Shalitza, was Duwamish, and his father, Shawib, was Suquamish. He died on June 7, 1866, from a severe fever and was buried with Catholic and native rites in the reservation cemetery at Suquamish. He was chief of the Suquamish tribe and the Duwamish tribe. He was an important figure among his people and well known for his speech in 1854. He had various names. He was known as Chief Seattle, Chief Sealth, Noah Seattle. During his life, he witnessed the transition of his people from their ancient ways to a more new modern way brought by many non-natives. The only known photo of Chief Sealth in 1864 has been reprinted so many times that it has been altered by painters to make it appear that his eyes were open and also blacking out the backdrop, aka known as old-fashioned Photoshop. Standing tall and broad, the Hudson's Bay Company gave the nickname Lee Gross, which meant big guy. This led most historians to believe he was a fairly big native, standing at nearly 6 feet tall. He took wives from the village Tolata. This is more commonly known now as West Seattle. His first wife was La Dalla, who died giving birth to his first daughter. His second wife was Ola, who gave birth to 3 sons and 4 daughters. He was converted to Christianity by French missionaries. Correspondingly, he was baptized in the Roman Catholic Church after he lost one of his sons in an attack near Port Townsend. At a young age, Sealth had to earn his leadership position, even though his father was the Suquamish leader. During adulthood, he led attacks on various Kalaum villages. In the late 1840s, Seattle led an attack on the Checkacum people at Hadlock Bay, which is now located near Port Townsend. He led the Suquamish people and other saltwater villagers on a preemptive raid to stop an attack on Upper White and Green River groups, doing so to gain respect among them. Chief Sealth's life was mostly with the Suquamish people because of his father being Suquamish. The Suquamish people lived in permanent villages with longhouses, or in the colder seasons, winter houses, which consisted of cedar planks, logs, and grounded roots. These houses usually spanned between 200 and 600 feet long. The best-known winter village was the Old Man House, which was the home of Chief Seattle and Chief Kitsap. This is also where Chief Seattle died. The Suquamish people left their winter residence in the spring, summer, and early fall. During the warmer seasons, the Suquamish people traveled to the camps by canoes, and at the camps, they fished, hunted, and had multiple gathering grounds. The camps consisted of portable frames made from saplings. The Suquamish believed that everything had the power to take form or do anything. The Suquamish believed that the Changer enabled human beings to take place in the world. They believed all life is related, forming a whole. They also believed that special powers can be reached through meditation, fasting, prayer, and rituals. Parts of the old religion are important to the lives of those Suquamish people who have converted to Catholicism and Christianity. Catching salmon and other fish was the most important source of food. They caught salmon with traps, weaves, hook and line, and netting from canoes. Chinook, cohom, and chum were the most popular types of salmon caught. The Suquamish weaved hard baskets from curled cedar roots and were traditionally used for gathering berries. These baskets were also watertight. They would use the baskets for cooking. For example, they would heat stones and use them to boil water-filled baskets to make soups of wild salmon and potatoes. Decorative berry baskets were designed by embarking colors of cedar barks in multiple designs. They even weaved valuable blankets from wool. The wealthiest people of the tribe would give numerous blankets away at a potluck. Canoes made life so much easier for the Suquamish people. For example, they made it easier to collect essentials like fish, berries, roots, wild potatoes, and seagrasses. Canoes let them travel long distances in a short amount of time. Also, they help with the renewal of tribe alliances and ceremonial contacts, meaning that they could travel from tribe to tribe easier. Canoe constructing was very difficult and complex. Training started at a young age. Selection for finding a right tree for a canoe was very specific. Canoe trees had to be free of rot, have few branches, be tall, and near water. The western red cedar and the yellow cedar were two very suitable types for canoe making, given the fact that they were hard, lightweight, and preserved well due to their oiliness. Logs were roughly shaped enough to allow transport to the beach or village. Once chisels and wedges were used to smoothen and hollow out. To cut open a tree, the tree was half filled with water and hot stones to spread the sides using steam. The cross sticks were used to keep them spread. To make just one canoe, it took an entire year. Chief Sealth signed the 1855 Treaty of Point Elliott, with the U.S. government agreeing that his people live on the Port Madison Indian Reservation. Henry A. Smith recognized Seattle's importance as a leader because of his age and wisdom. This led to Sealth serving as a native spokesman during the Treaty Council held at Point Elliott. Point Elliott is now known as Mukilteo. He served from December 1854 to January 1855. By Governor Isaac Stevens, the U.S. agreed to provide health care and education and recognized and affirmed their fishing, hunting, and gathering rights. Despite voicing his misgivings about his people receiving money for their land, he was the first to take place and put his mark on the treaty document. The treaty document gave 2.5 million acres of land as a reservation for the Suquamish, but yet no land for the Duwamish. The treaty land that the Suquamish received was ancestral heartland around their mother village. The Suquamish Indian Reservation was initially named Fort Kitsap, but then soon renamed Port Madison. A plaque of the treaty stands near the location of the original signing place in Mukilteo, Washington. Chief Sealth's most notable speech in 1854 was first published in the Seattle Sunday Star 35 years after it happened. Chief Sealth's speech written documents are not word for word, but are close to the same due to Henry H. Smith only taking notes of the speech. Chief Seattle's speech in 1854 was about the significance of his people and his people's land. The speech's gravity and meaningfulness greatly affected Washington State's history. Some of his quotes from his speech consist of, "Our religion is the traditions of our ancestors. Every part of this country is sacred to my people. The white man will never be alone. Let him just be and deal kindly with my people. How can you buy the sky or own the wind? We are a part of the earth, and the earth is a part of us. The earth does not belong to us. We belong to the earth. The destiny of your people is a mystery to us. When the view of the ripe hills is plotted by talking wires, where will the thicket be? Where will the eagle be? Gone?" In 1855 did not reach Congress for more than 3 years. During those years, benefits to the tribes were delayed or disrupted because the treaty hadn't taken effect, so multiple tribal leaders were dissatisfied. They began to take arms for a better argument, or expulsion of white people from their lands. By late 1855, European Americans in the Puget Sound region were in danger of attacks. All of this led to the Treaty War, and was ironically named the Battle of Seattle. But Seattle kept his people out of wars and stayed across the Sound at Port Madison and induced or influenced as many of his people to come with him. Likewise, he warned his white friends of impending violence, protecting and keeping as many of his people out of war. When all the fighting was over, the city of Seattle began swelling with newcomers. Most were whites who took little notice of him or his people and gave the natives no respect. With all these newcomers, one story told of an angry 10-year-old girl who pushed the old chief off a board sidewalk. Everyone knew at the time Indians were supposed to get out of the way for whites. So for the most part, during that time, Sealth stayed home and barely went out into the city. So during then, he stayed home and dealt with the problems of overcrowding, disease, and traveling whiskey sellers at the reservation. Overall, by avoiding contact in the Battle of Seattle, there would be no bloodshed between the Suquamish and Duwamish tribes. The legacy Chief Sealth left behind was very significant. He became a well-known local name and mostly known for his speech in 1854. The city of Seattle and other related features were named after him, such as the Chief Seattle Trail. Soundgarden, a Seattle rock band, covered a Black Sabbath song, Into the Void, replaying the lyrics with the words from Seattle's speech. The Evangelical Lutheran Church of America commemorates the life of Seattle on June 7th in its calendar of saints. There is even a high school named after Chief Sealth High School. His gravesite is at Suquamish Tribal Cemetery. In 1890, a group of Seattle pioneers set up a monument over his grave. A statue is also set up in his honor in downtown Seattle.